These are my final Premier League predictions. No more international breaks. These are going to get locked in this video. We're going to be talking about the favourites to win the Premier League, relegated sides, transfer flops, and the next manager sacked, and a few other topics. I know we're a few months into the Premier League season, but these are my final predictions. I swear on my life. Let's start off with relegated. I'm praying and I'm hoping that the three clubs that got promoted from the Championship last season don't all get relegated like they did last season. And I think 2 out of 3 will get relegated. The first one is Southampton, the easiest pick in the history of football predictions ever. These guys are rubbish, and Russell Martin will go down with the sinking ship, playing his philosophy, thinking he'll get a move like Company did to Bayern Munich. And I think the second time the novelty wears off when we see that happen. And I think Southampton are easy to play against. They're going to get relegated. The second one is hard for me because I like Leicester City. I like their story. I like the fact they're Premier League champions. The idea that they've been in and out of the Premier League in the last couple of years is quite upsetting to me because I think they've been incredibly well run. And they've had some incredible moments, even if you include the FA Cup win, the Champions League run. And to see them in the Championship last season was really horrible. I worry they're going to get relegated again. I just look at someone like Jordan Ayew. I know this is crazy, but anytime I see Jordan Ayew in anyone's kit, I just feel you guys are doomed to be in the bottom half of the table, guaranteed, of course. But anywhere around the relegation zone, Jordan Ayew kind of operates. With all due respect, I don't know how he's playing for Leicester City. And it feels like they've had some decent results. They're a little bit away from the relegation right now. I don't want them to get relegated. I want Southampton to get relegated. I don't want Leicester City to get relegated. I'm just worried they haven't got enough quality. I'm a little bit worried about it. And the fact that Brentford, I think, are overperforming based on losing Ivan Toney and how Mbeumo's playing. I believe in Ipswich more than other people. I really do. And you look at some of the other clubs, I think Palace have more than enough quality to get out of their situation. So do Everton. And suddenly you think, who actually can get relegated? And Leicester City, I think, will invariably, when there's a game every 3 days in the business end of the season, their squad looks thin. And there's a lack of investment, for me, to get them out of a real situation. Palace can go in January. They can spend 50 million quid. They got Adam Wharton out of Blackburn Rovers in January the last season. I don't think Leicester City can do that, in my opinion. If they stayed up, it'd be a very ugly, kind of scrappy survival, and they deserve that. I think their fans are fantastic, but I think they're going to get relegated. I think Wolves are going to get relegated. They've been lingering on it now for about a year. There were some problems with Lopetegui, obviously a couple of years before that as well. Gary O'Neill gave them this kind of rosy, optimistic 5-month period last season where they looked, really, really good. And they were, and that was down to Neto, that was down to Hwang's form was fantastic. And they've fallen off, and they've started off really, really poor. There's a chance he gets sacked, and there's a chance that they make the wrong managerial appointment, Wolves. And I just think there's a lack of space. Like with Leicester City, Wolves have got enough quality to really stay in the league. But I just worry about all the other sides around them that have got a little bit more about them. I think Palace always operate very, very sharp. They'll sack Glasner very, very quick, like they did with Vieira. And Parish is a great operator. I don't know if Wolves have got the same manoeuvrability of making the situation better for themselves, but you have to let me know in the comments down below. Next sacked, I think Lopetegui, this is the easiest pick probably. I wanted to maybe do left field shouts. Does Russell Martin get under any pressure? Glasner. I still think they've got time in the bank. We're talking next manager sack. West Ham United have got Newcastle away, Arsenal. And then they've got Leicester City away. If he survives Leicester City and he doesn't beat Leicester City, he's definitely out the door. That's an obvious thing to say. But it could go as easy as Newcastle United away. I think they're going to get absolutely banged. The transfers haven't worked. A couple of them want to go back to their home countries, not enjoying life in Stratford. And I don't blame them. But I think Lopetegui goes. And I think the easy one with West Ham, is just be loyal to the fans, connect with the fans, and you're hearing stories that he doesn't really engage with the fans in the same way. You have to just change your ways sometimes. You have to just be adaptable. A bit like how water fills whatever shape it's in, okay? You have to be adaptable. And if you're a little bit remote as a manager, you think you're a little bit above it, when you go to a side like West Ham, you have to be better with the fans. And I think he'll lose his job. Transfer success by the end of the season, this will be the player that we think has been an unmitigated success, best transfer going. There's a couple that I have to throw in there. Liam Delap, I mean, you're talking 15 million quid. In the Championship, he was banging in goals, not to an unbelievable level where everyone was talking about him as a prodigious talent. City fans will know a lot about him, of course, and he was very, very highly rated. Even obviously played a few games for the first side for Man City as well. But the move to Ipswich, then doing it in the Premier League, a lot of people didn't believe it. He scored 6 goals, got 1 assist so far in the Premier League. So you're thinking his goals alone could keep Ipswich in the Premier League, and I firmly believe that will happen. Then you're talking a big lump who scores loads of goals, and he's 21 years old. He'll be worth a fortune. So that will be an unbelievable success. I've talked about Rutter from Leeds United going to Brighton in the summer. Gone under the radar a little bit because it's another Championship move, but he's been absolutely fantastic, firing Brighton into the European positions or in and around them. His link-up play is fantastic. He's got a great finish on him, got great pace as well. He's an all-round fantastic forward. I have to go with Pedro Neto. He's 2-footed. He can play on either wing. For the money that Chelsea have spent, last season they were struggling with Sterling and Mudryk, and now they've improved massively. And I think Neto can play left. Neto can play right. Obviously, Sancho's not been in and around the side, but Sancho's worked for games as well this season. And I think he's a massive, massive statement of how bad Mudryk's been, because Neto comes in, he's got unbelievable crossing ability, unbelievable pace. He will be an unbelievable success if he stays fit and gets Chelsea back into the top 4. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. The European positions, I'm going to do a full video tomorrow of every single position in the Premier League table, so make sure you subscribe for that. This is just Europe. This is like the outside positions. I think Villa and I think Brighton are going to get the European positions outside the top 4. I think they've been in unbelievable form. And you look at Villa. Sorry, I think Villa. Yes, they've lost to Liverpool. They got banged by Spurs in a horrific way, in an embarrassing way. Even drew to Bournemouth, which is a little bit surprising. I just think they've got so much quality in the side. Once the Champions League peters out, maybe it doesn't. Maybe they go all the way. Who knows? They'll have to focus on the league, and they'll get a few players back, and they'll be absolutely fine, in my opinion. The Premier League title favourites, as of today, recording this video, despite Guardiola signing a contract extension, Liverpool are the clear favourites to win the Premier League title. You look at the amount of players that they've got in world-class form right now. If we were doing a world-class 11 right now on the form, you're talking 5 players would be playing for that 11. Maybe a couple of Real Madrid players, maybe Haaland down the middle. But you're talking Diaz, Salah, Gravenberch, Trent. You're talking Konate, Van Dijk. They all get in an 11 on form. So, of course, they're current favourites. They've got a massive lead at the top of the table. And the big one is, as I'm recording this video, in what, 9 days? 10 days, City go to Anfield. And Anfield for City is almost impossible to get a win in 14 years. 1 win, I think. So, it's even longer than that. Might be about 15, 16, 17 years. About 1 win. A 4-1 win in COVID, I think. And that was about it. So, if Liverpool win that game, they're in some serious form. They really are to win the Premier League title. Surprise season. This is hard because I think Newcastle, Brighton, Aston Villa, they're all going to float to the top of the table. Spurs are going to be in and around there. Manchester United are going to be floating in and around there, of course. For me, it's Ipswich, and a lot of people think Ipswich are going to get relegated. Their result against Spurs was their biggest win as a club in many, many years, and that's no disrespect, but being back in the top flight, getting a huge win away in North London was massive. We're talking 30 years, really, since Ipswich have had a record like that. It was a result like that. I think they've got more than enough firepower. I think they manoeuvre well in the transfer market, and they've got a manager who's getting it right. He'll pump that ball long. He'll tell them to pump it up to Liam Delap if they're under pressure. He's got flexibility. He's got tactical kind of creativity that Russell Martin doesn't have and other managers around him doesn't have. You've got this combination of one of the highest ceiling young managers in world football, a big club. It's going to get harder and harder to play at Portman Road. It's a big, big club. And then you're talking about some of the players, Schmozics, you're talking about Delap. They've been fantastic. They've been fantastic this season and working hard, and they believe they can stay up. You look at Southampton, I don't think they believe they can stay up, and nor should they. Best young player, it's like a Liam Delap love fest. I think Liam Delap will get the best young player award. He will on this channel anyway. Again, 6 goals, 1 assist. And he's slowly improving. He's notching up goals. He's going under the radar. And he'll be looked at by a lot of big clubs at the end of the summer. No question. If he stays with Ipswich, which I think he will, if they stay in the league, he'll be a top Premier League striker for many, many years to come. His pace is fantastic. His physicality is fantastic. He's cute in the box, and then he can score unbelievable goals from 25 yards out, like that goal against Fulham a few months ago. He will be highly, highly rated. He's not really talked about at the moment. And maybe that's a good thing for him. There's no pressure. But he is very, very technically gifted. Another product of the Man City Academy. And then final prediction, the big transfer flop. Who will be leaving to go to Turkey on loan? Who will be leaving to go to Italy on loan? With all due respect, I think it will be Xerxes. He's got the worst statistics you could ever imagine. I don't even like statistics, but you look at them and think the amount of goals he should have had. He should have had about like 8, 9, 10 goals with the amount of clear chances he's had in big games. I remember the ones against Liverpool. I know he scored that great goal at the start of the season, but you feel that was about it. He's got negative pace. The Earth orbits quicker than Xerxes moves. Honestly, that's how slow he is. He's got negative pace. And I think he'll be an absolute transfer flop. He's already been linked in January. That's how good this prediction video is. He's already been linked to a move in January back to Italy, to Juventus. How embarrassing. Another wad of cash blown up against the wall by Manchester United. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you so much. If you watch this far, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you very, very soon.